nature of the carefully calibrated language that we are using in our stories, I understand to many just feels so detached.
There's a lot of people, me included, who'd say that the language doesn't sound attached. It sounds enabling. And for me specifically, it sounds fatally self-sabotaging. Especially for media companies that sell themselves as center or center-left. Places like the New York Times, like The Guardian, like the BBC. And like the Washington Post, the OANs, the Fox News, the Wall Street Journals, the Telegraphs, don't have access to billionaire pocket change. All of the companies that I mentioned beforehand, as well as the companies that I'm sure people will mention below, disappointed them when it comes to their coverage of Palestine. Not only enabled a genocide that is ongoing, but also failed to report on genocides that are also occurring, like the genocide in Sudan and the genocide in the Congo. Although on the latter two, I have to say that I kind of expected that due to a combination of the fact that in the DRC and in Sudan, there isn't internet coverage that allowed the people who are there on the ground to reach out to us and prove their humanity, which, by the way, was the only thing that forced your editorial staff to focus on Palestinians. It's that they had amazing internet coverage, people who were able to speak English fluently, and were able to put enough information available in the public domain that your editors were forced to look at. And also the fact that the last two countries are Black majority countries, and at the base level, your editorial staff kind of expect us to be like that. It fits into their narrative. Because the West kind of likes that idea, of the war-torn Africa filled with corrupt politicians. It allows us in the West a measure of self-congratulation, because we get to ignore what makes our comfort possible. The death of millions. One example, this article here from The Guardian, describing the cutting of vital internet access in Sudan, is listed under global development. This article from the Atlantic on Congo DRC, well, the title speaks for itself. When I said fatal beforehand, I actually meant it in two ways. The first is the survival of media that is not owned by billionaires. Because your editorial teams lost you the respect of the people that you need to survive in your country and outside of it, globally. The second is fatal for journalists themselves. Because as we have seen, the genocidal experiment in Gaza is serving as a blueprint to change the rules of war. And all of this in the middle of an arms race. And would-be authoritarians are showing their hand. Bibi Greenwood, an ex-Guardian journalist that covered Palestine, stated that in journalistic circles, Gaza is a verb now. To Gaza something is to editorially diminish the importance of an event. This comes in the context of her publishing a book about her experiences covering Palestine, and her guilt on not having done enough on the build-up that ended up in the genocide in Gaza. So, as individuals, everyone who covers the region knew. And I know that you're never going to watch this, but do you understand our rage now? However misdirected, because you're just people. Do you understand the depth of our disappointment?